On XFM 104.9. I love the fact that Karl went a little bit mental then. So happy that he thinks that a lighthouse keeper pops the light on at the same time every... Are you telling me it was never foggy?
Everyone has a routine in the job.
And why was he going home from work knackered? What had he been doing all day?
He never said he went home knackered.
He did. He said he went home, he's just done a day's work, he said he went home knackered, and puts the light on and goes to sleep. That's what he said.
Yeah, but he's maybe a part-time lighthouse keeper.
Oh, what does he do? Works in the library, does he, as well?
No, listen, Rick, look, I'm really with Karl here.
What?
He definitely got you. He stitched you up right and proper.
Anyway, I got it right.
Yeah, but then you embarrass yourself by saying that...
stupid.
But
He's stupid.
You would never put a lighthouse light on during the day.
What's your next one?
I'd been painting it that day.
Oh, had he?
Extra shattered.
Right, okay.
The next one, last one, this.
Yeah.
Lateral thinking.
Lateral thinking.
And you've written this yourself? You've had no help from anyone?
No, I've come up with these on my own.
Okay.
Right, last one.
Yeah.
This bloke,
There's always this bloke.
Yeah.
this bloke, he's got a brother that he's, never met. Right? They got separated at birth.
Right.
You know, anyway, he gets a letter in the post.
Yeah.
He says, oh, I tracked you down.
Yeah.
Meet me at the airport.
Yeah.
Okay.
As soon as he gets to the airport,
Yeah.
he goes, there he is, and he goes walking over. How did he know that was his brother? He'd never seen a
They were
picture.
twins. They looked exactly the same.
They were born the same day.
No, Steve's got it.
Yeah. That's what I mean. So he knew they were born the same day, so he knew they were twins, yeah.
I didn't say they were born on the same day, did I?
No, I'm just reiterating.
They would be, though, if they looked
Yeah.
identical.
Yeah.
Sorry about that when we've got you there, Karl, mate.
Yeah.
You're quite upset about that. That was 1 out of 3, though. That's
What about this then? Do you know that when, two brothers, born on the same day, of the same mother and the same father, but they weren't twins? Why?
Say that one again.
Two brothers
Yeah.
are born on the same day, of the same mother and father, but they weren't twins. Why not? This is good radio.
You see, the problem is I heard you saying to Steve, I'm going to do that one about the shark in the pool, so I'm trying to think.
This has nothing to do with that one though, is it? Clearly.
Give him the answer, Rick.
The answer is they were two of triplets.
Right.
They had another brother. So do you want to do the one about the shark in the swimming pool?
Yeah.
Okay. A bloke, just in his swimming trunks, walks into a swimming pool full of man-eating sharks. He walks around for a bit and slowly gets out the other side, and he's not bitten or anything. Why not?
Because they'd already eaten.
No, they're starving hungry.
He walked through the water.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a bridge.
No, he actually was in the water, soaking wet, the sharks.
He had like a metal suit on.
No, naked apart from his swimming trunks.
There were real sharks.
Real sharks.
Swimming about. They were
man-eating, hungry, yeah.
They were really hungry.
Yeah.
This fella gets into the same pool.
Yeah.
It's the same pool.
Exactly.
He walks right, he gets in the steps, he walks down, he walks across.
Yeah.
He's in the water.
Yeah.
Up to his neck.
Yeah.
And the sharks are near him.
Yeah, they're attacking him.
They're attacking him.
They're actually attacking him.
But he still gets out, okay.
Yeah. Walks out the other side. And hasn't got a mark on him.
I don't know.
Go on, Rick, what's the answer?
Yeah, I was lying about the sharks.
There weren't any sharks
I
there.
was lying about the sharks, completely lying, just made up. Just an empty pool.
That's just stupid.
That's our point! They're rubbish.
Oh dear. Oh. Oh dear.
Rubbish.
It's right!
He's so offended.
Oh! Offended and confused.
Come on, play a song.
No, go on then.
PJ Harvey on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, obviously. Steve, Karl. I've got a real one for you. This is a logic question, not a stupid one. Just very quickly. 10 black balls in a bag and 10 white balls in a bag. Yeah. How many balls do you have to pull out to ensure you've got a pair of the same colour?
Well, what's stopping you putting your hand in and pulling out?
Jesus.
4. for,
Because I asked for the minimum number. So how many do you have to pull out to ensure you've got a pair? That doesn't say all of them, that'll
Right,
ensure it.
no,
What's the minimum number you have to pull out?
11, because if the
Why do you need 11?
What? Because
Sorry, go on.
there's 10 black balls, 10 white balls, yeah?
Yeah.
Say if you're, for some reason, you pulled out all the 10 black balls.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. You'd have a pair, wouldn't you?
You'd have a pair.
After the first 2.
Yeah.
So what's the minimum number you have to pull out to ensure...
2.
No, because you might pull a white one and a black one.
Yeah, but... I don't understand what you're saying.
Sometimes I get that impression, the way you look at me like Helen from Big Brother.
Yeah, but...
I've always assumed that.
Well,
right. What's the minimum number you have to pull out to ensure you have 2 of the same colour?
3.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can use that one.
Yeah. That's a good one.
So what's the minimum number you have to pull out to ensure you have 4 of the same colour?
Oh, God. 8.
Was that a guess?
I don't know. I understand the first one. We've done it now.
Okay, alright, we'll leave it there.
That's good.
Good. Okay. Now
White van, Karl?
this is this is where we...
Oh, that's too much.
If you'd have seen his face then, Steve, his eyebrows sort of went down while you were doing that face. He genuinely looked pained.
It's like you're back at school, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's starting to get hard work now.
No, okay, we'll just do White Van Karl then. This is your opinions. You can't be wrong on this, can you?
There's no right or wrong answer here. Okay.
Right.
But this is where we ask Karl his views on the big news stories of the week. Basically, we've stolen an idea from the Sun newspaper, and
So this isn't cruel, this programme, is it?
oh, I don't think so.
Picking on me.
It's not, is it?
Oh, it's weird because a few people have said, "Oh, you're picking on me." It depends how you look at things, isn't
Sure.
it?
Yeah. But you do you like it?
We could look at it like it's a laugh, so
Yeah,
it's not a
but
problem for us.
You know we like you. You know you're our favourite.
Yeah.
I'm going to say thing in the world, but I don't mean that. In a derogatory way.
No, I'm cool with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So your views, please, on the fact that attitudes are changing to the possible marriage of Charles and Camilla.
Oh, what do you think of that?
The roars at the moment, because of recent tragedies, are apparently high in the polls, and people are coming around to the idea of Charles and Camilla getting hitched. What's your thought?
Whatever, really. I mean, if they're happy with it. The thing that comes out of it most is it just goes to show, right, that there is someone for everyone. Just because, I mean, no disrespect to Camilla, I'm not a good-looking person either, but she isn't a stunner, and yet she's gone and picked up a royal. Right?
Yeah.
So I think it's good for things like that to happen, because it cheers you up. Do you know what I mean? Gives you a bit of hope.
Thanks, Karl.
So yeah, it's good. You know, if they're happy. If anyone's happy, it's a good story, innit?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, he's had a bit of bad luck, and now he's got someone else in his life, so...
While he's doing this, I'm just doing a list of questions to ask him what he thinks of things in the world. Is that alright?
Yeah, no problem.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
no
okay.
problem. Okay, what do you make of... Well, now listen, this is maybe a non-story, or it may be the biggest story that's about to break. Ulrika Jonsson and Sven-Goran Eriksson's affair. Are you familiar with this? It's over the papers today. Apparently, Ulrika and Sven are going out, although there appears to be no evidence for this.
Yeah, I don't even give it time of day.
Do you not?
know what I mean?
Right, well done.
Doesn't affect me whatsoever, as long as he does his job well.
Yep.
And what's she doing at the moment?
Presenting Dog Eat Dog, I think.
Right, you know.
As long as she does her job well.
As long as they both do their jobs well.
Well, yeah, at the end of the day,
Yeah.
that's going on with a lot of people out in the world, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Just because he's an England boss, as long as, you know, we win the games and that, he's doing his job. If she's, you know, gets a dog winning a prize or whatever.
No. Okay. It's not worth it. Carry on.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Oh, winning a
I haven't seen Dog Eat Dog. What's it
Okay.
about?
It's alright. It's
Right,
no, go on.
so that's it, yeah, it doesn't matter.
Okay, what about this then? Are you disappointed by the nation that a third of us are apparently unaware of St. George's Day?
23rd.
Is St. George's Day the one with the snakes that we've talked about?
No, that's...
Are you one of that third, do you think?
St. George is the patron saint of England who killed the dragon.
Yeah, I mean, there's too many of these days, isn't there? That's the problem. If you make it a bit more special, Like Christmas, so you buy presents and that for each other, then people will remember it. But there's so many these days with Easter and Pancake Tuesday and all that. So it's not surprising. I think as time goes on, we'll find that a lot of these days will just disappear because, you know, people are busy.
There'll be new ones, won't there?
I don't know, people
There'll
are
be like
busy.
Gareth Gates Day in 50 years' time.
It's just weird. I mean, I remember being a kid, right? Going out on a Sunday and shops would be shut because it was like, you know, the day of rest and all that. People don't care now. It's like, oh, we can make some more money, we'll open the shops.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Is that a good or a bad thing, Karl?
It's good, because I remember I used to have to get up early to go and get some bread if we didn't have any in. Because the shop would only be open for a couple of hours in the morning.
Yeah.
Whereas now I'd be able to...
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that. Shop shut. And you couldn't get aspirin and stuff, certain things.
Nightmare on a Sunday afternoon.
Yeah.
So...
That's right, yeah. And pubs didn't open till 12.
Do you remember space operas?
Yeah. Yeah, shut up. Can I ask you something?
Go on.
Okay, I've got a little list of things. What do you think of, like, those pug dogs that are bred and they can hardly breathe?
Evil.
Yeah. What do you think of, gays?
They're alright. Do you know what I mean? Just like straight people, you get bad ones, you get good ones.
Exactly.
Right?
We've learned a lesson today, haven't we?
Absolutely.
Let's play a record.
Yeah? What do you fancy? A bit of Radiohead?
Yeah. Why? What do you mean? What's up with it?
Because what happens, the last 2 weeks have been quite good, and we always tend to have two good ones, and then one that's just alright.
Well, let the listening public be the judge of that.
Well, yeah, and the Sony committee.
Yeah, what do you want to do? A clip show of the best... We should do that for our last show. People should vote for their favourite hilarious link.
Yeah.
And then we can put it together on a tape. Right? Is there a rock commenter there that wants to release the bit like, I love...
Including such favourites as, do you like gays?
And, this lad, he had a horse.
Yeah.
Oh, I scored once, I was stung by a bee. And who can forget? That's lovely. Should you do that? Can you have you kept all these on tape?
Yeah.
So can you do a compilation? People phone in. No, the next 2 weeks, phone in for your favourite clip. How can they get hold of you, Karl, in the week? What's your email? What's your email? What's your email?
It's my name with xfm.co.uk.
So, Karl Pilkington.
Karl.Pilkington.
Karl.
With a K. Karl with a K.
Yeah. Karl.Pilkington at xfm.co.uk.
Yeah.
Vote your favourite link of the last 3 months. We should make a little compilation and sell it. And we get like Radiohead. They'd love to be on the compilation with us, wouldn't they? Wouldn't they?
Oh, well.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Right, do you know, like, you're always giving me questions in the week, you're always saying things like, if I put you in this situation, what would you do?
Like what? Like what?
The bizarre things.
Like what, though? Say one.
If you had to lick Barbara Cartland's face,
Yeah.
would it be the right cheek or the left cheek? Or
Sorry, does Barbara want her face being there? No, I'm just saying if that's what she's into, then I don't mind
dead.
popping...
She's dead, yeah.
So,
Isn't she? Isn't she?
I don't think she
Just
is.
be careful, because you can't libel the dead, so I want to make sure she's dead before we start saying horrendous things.
But I don't think she is dead. I'm almost certain she's not.
I don't think so.
No, she's not.
Phone, is Barbara Cartland dead? 08700 800 1234.
We'll have to get Chris in. So listen, right? So anyway, he always calls up with like bizarre stuff like that. And I was watching a program the other night about snakes.
Right.
And it was like, don't walk through a river that's full of snakes, because
Good advice.
they if you got a kid in the car or in the house, turn your radio down if you don't want them to hear stuff like this. But yeah, they go for your tackle.
Why?
I don't know, they just do.
They think it's another little snake.
Maybe.
With swollen cheeks.
Earrings.
With earrings, yeah.
So,
Or an anaconda in my case.
With one eye.
I'm really joking.
So yeah, and I said to Ricky, what would you do? Right?
It's very scaly.
You two in the woods. You're having a wander, Steve.
Having
a wander.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
You walk through the river.
What, me?
And yeah,
Okay.
because you're tall, so it's like you can check out how deep it is before Ricky goes through.
Right.
Yeah.
Which you do.
That sounds right.
You do that sometimes, don't you? Yeah.
But a snake bites your tackle.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
Say penis.
yeah,
It's the correct word for
I
it. It's
know,
not
but I don't-
offensive.
it doesn't sound nice.
Say it. Say it.
Penis, but I don't.
Oh,
like
you
the sound of it.
dirty little,
No,
dirty little slut, Karl. You're a dirty
It's
little.
just one of those words.
Right,
Yeah.
carry on with let's carry on. What's the story? I'm wandering through a river.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the snake
Bites.
bites your penis.
Right.
And
You know, Ricky, like, doesn't leave, like, WC1 Why on earth we're going to be anywhere near a river where there's sort of...
Well, anyway,
snakes?
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
you are in this situation.
Yeah.
Okay.
The snake bites you, and I said to Ricky, if it was a matter of life or death, would you suck out the poison? What do you think he said? And the bit I made, because he was thinking about it, and like, oh God, well, he's my best mate and everything, what will I do? And I said, and then Steve starts sort of groaning like he's enjoying it.
I'm just trying to remember what I did do. What did happen in that instant?
Okay.
So I've been bitten on the penis by a snake.
Yeah, there's poison in
There's
your
no
cock.
poison in it.
Yeah.
I've had a go at trying to suck it out myself.
Yeah, but
That's not
you've
worked.
never mastered that
I've never
one
been
yet.
able to master that.
Yeah. It's just such a long spine and such a short, stubby knob that he's got no chance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have to get...
He's even had lip extensions. Haven't you? Yeah, go on.
And would Ricky suck it out? Almost certainly not.
Yeah, that's the answer.
Yeah, he'd let me die a hideous, horrible death.
I'd go, is there anyone you want a towel? Do you want me to call your mum and dad?
Yeah.
How shall I tell them you died? Is they tell them I died taking a bullet for a lady?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was beating up some nasty people.
Yeah. Would you at least run into the woods and try and find some kind of animal that could do it for me?
Some
of those monkeys look like they got a good technique.
Right.
Stop it.
One more song.
Yeah.
Only time for song for the what's it?
Oh, we got to share this one then. But we're doing this one.
There was two.
No, we've run out of time.
Well, this is in the Guardian because they printed my favourite song is If You See a Sailor. It's If You See a Say Hello by Bob Dylan.
Okay.
It's a song for the ladies and lovers.
Right.
Absolutely.
Stone Roses on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Steve Merchant.
Hello there.
And Karl Pilkington for the last time,
Indeed.
I'm afraid.
Yes.
So, we're gonna have a little bit of a chat. We're sewing up some things with Karl.
Indeed.
We're giving away that prize, that BAFTA bag, and,
Playing some great music.
And I'm bringing in my favourite tunes. I'm bringing the Smiths, Radiohead, Cat Stevens, David Bowie, Neil Young, the classics. Steve's doing the same.
Indeed.
Well, Karl, for the last time apparently, someone's got it a bit wrong. We're not actually away for 6 weeks. We're away for about, we'll be back in, August, won't we?
Bloody hell.
Yeah. No, don't swear.
Yeah, that's outrageous.
On the last show, you have to say that.
Already brought the tone down.
Yeah.
Cheapened it.
And I think it's blasphemous as well.
Yeah.
No, it's not. No, hell isn't, is it?
Isn't it?
No, I don't think that's not blasphemy, is it?
Taking hell's name in vain.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what was it you were saying the other week about the Queen Mum used to have the right mouth on her?
What?
I don't think we said that on air, Karl.
What?
No, but last week you were saying about bad language, and I was saying, there'll come a time when bad language isn't, doesn't matter anymore. You can F and Jeff and stuff.
Oh, I know what he's talking about, Steve.
Really?
Right, let me explain to you, the listener at home. Karl was worried about swearing, and as a joke, off air, it was last week, we were saying that in the 1940s and 50s, the Queen Mum used to say things like, and we were quoting things she'd said, but putting F's and C's in there, and you believed us.
Oh, so this whole week you've believed that we somehow had knowledge that the Queen Mum used to swear like a trooper?
We were doing fake quotes from her in her voice, but putting in F's and C's, and you believed us. I mean, I didn't even think, I thought you were going along with a joke, but it obviously made an impact.
Karl, we've said this, you've got to question and query everything. You can't take things at face value, certainly not if they come out of the mouths of Ricky Gervais.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah, sorry about that, Karl, it was a little trick.
Is there any other things now that, as
Is
you
there
look back
anything
over
we
the
said that
time
you've been
we've
thinking
spent
about
with
that I
us?
can tell you now that was a lie?
Anything you've maybe queried or questioned, you've thought, that doesn't seem right, that maybe Ricky's told you?
Something might come to me later on, but...
Okay. Well, what about, Karl, I mean, we love you, right, obviously, we know that, we've got great affection for you, we look forward to this, I'm gonna miss you, really, and I'll tell you what, you've got a heart of gold. Now, wait till you see XFM 104.9, winner of a bronze award
at the Sony's Radio Awards.
The Radio Oscars. So
Man
Phil
alive.
Jupiter said. That's what he called them on Liquid News.
I'll tell you this, Rick, I'm not used to being on a table with losers at an award ceremony.
No, I'm glad, I didn't want to come in to do the final show.
No.
I went straight over and sat with Pete and Jeff, didn't I?
Yeah. I went over
Radio
to the,
4, I went over with Paul Gambaccini.
I went over to BBC World Service.
Yeah.
You know, it's a lot funkier. A lot cooler.
Won an award.
Yeah,
they
swept the boards.
Yeah. Bronze is nowhere.
What was the mood? What was the mood here?
Silver's, what was the mood here?
The mood,
because the day after, because people were, I mean, let me tell you now, I think XFM deserved an award, and I thought it was criminal, actually.
But what I did like about it, that we certainly had the room, because Pete and Jeff said good luck to us and Christian, that was really nice. And then someone else mentioned it.
James Nesbitt.
James Nesbitt said, XFM and stuff, so it certainly had the...
He said something about it.
Yeah, so it certainly had the room. And for a local, you've got to realise it's a local radio station, you know, and it can't compete really with Radio 2 and Radio 4.
But what was the mood the day after here at XFM?
It was alright. I mean, I think we expected a few more, but...
you shouldn't take these things seriously anyway.
No, but what I didn't realise,
take awards seriously.
But what I didn't realise is you have to pay thousands of pounds just to nominate. Just to get into the running for an award. So you've already, you know, they've squandered thousands of pounds.
No, it's not thousands, is it?
Well, it mounts up because you pay to enter.
And then the table.
You've got to buy, like, mini-discs and that to send your stuff in on.
Sure.
Which up with Sony mini-discs.
Oh, I see what you're saying, Karl.
I'm not saying anything.
No.
And also then you've got to pay for the table.
Right.
And the food and the drink. I mean, it's a few grand.
I swore on live television as well that night.
Yeah.
But I've never done that before. I mean, I've sworn before, but never accidentally. And we were being interviewed for, and Christian was sort of like, quite, you know, being a bit boisterous, and he must have brought out the worst in me, and I just accidentally said the F word, and I apologised straight away. I didn't want to embarrass Phil Dupas. He was doing a good job.
He does that himself, yeah.
but I was thinking about yesterday, and you're saying a bronze isn't worth having, right?
Yeah.
But, say like...
We're only joking, none of them are worth having, but they're very nice. They're very nice to win.
Bronze is pointless.
But you say that, because, like, bronze is, like, coming last, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Can you tell me the name of the person who won the marathon this year? No.
Yeah, but that's because we're not sporty.
Well,
I'm sure there's lots that can.
But then, the guy who came last, who was in the swimsuit, people remember him. And
no, I don't remember his name either.
No, what's his name?
No, but he was 6 days late. I mean, he was really...
Yeah, but what's his name then?
You see, well, no one's remembering either.
No, but if someone said who won the marathon, I'd go, I don't know, but there was that guy in the swimsuit.
Well, I'd say, I don't know, it was a woman.
Yeah.
She had shorts on and trainers.
I'm just trying to...
My point is, what they will remember is that we were losers. That's what they remember. They may not remember our names.
Yeah.
They'll just point and shout losers.
We're all winners, aren't we? We're all winners, really.
For taking part, sure.
Yeah.
And it's all subjective as well, isn't it?
Go on.
I mean, I'm not going to moan about awards because you've won a lot of them. It's like saying they don't mean jack. But at the end of the day, right, there's some shows that won awards and you go, yeah, that's, you know, that's worth an award.
I think you've got to treat it, I mean, some awards actually boost your profile or career or your cachet or everything like that. Some it's just a nice night out and it's nice to win, but I don't think you should really take any award that seriously.
What worries me though, Rick, as I mentioned on the night, is that when I was at school, I mean, you look at me now, you probably think he's an athletic kind of guy, he's a sporty dude, you know, but at school, bizarrely, that was not the case.
No, what were you, a bit of a lanky beanbag?
It turns out.
You're joking?
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
So, and yet I got a silver, in the high jump.
Yeah.
And I've done better in the high jump, right? Did no training whatsoever, did no practice, just turned up.
You were 2.5 foot taller than every other person in your class.
Yeah, but wait a minute, people think that if you're tall, that makes you easier, it makes it easier for you to do the high jump. Surely not, because I've got all that leg to get over the pole. That makes it harder for me, surely.
Don't talk rubbish.
What are you talking about?
Well, of course, the taller you are, the more chance you got at the high jump.
Well, explain that to me.
Are you, okay then. So, is it harder for a 6-foot man to step over a matchbox, or a baby midget?
A baby midget? That is tiny, Rick.
Hang on. Here's something I've learned, remember?
Go on.
Back to, like, show 4 or whatever.
Go on.
What is it?
Show 4?
The flea can jump over the London Eye?
No! No, it can jump the equivalent of, if it was a 6-foot man, it can jump about 6 inches high. A flea cannot jump over the London Eye.
Yes, it can. Yeah, it can.
And
tell your kids that.
Karl. Oh,
remember?
Oh, a flea can jump over the London Eye, and an ant can lift 3 Volvos.
But you're talking about fitness people and that. Remember when we were in the pub, right?
Yeah.
And your mate Johnny was in there.
Yeah.
I think it was.
Yeah.
And he was talking about that guy who got done, right? Because he entered a wheelchair race.
Yeah.
And there was nothing wrong with him. His legs were alright.
Yeah.
Now, he got done because he shouldn't have been involved in it.
Yeah.
But don't you think that really, he's really good for doing that because he's not normally in a wheelchair.
Sure.
So he's not used to how they move about.
Yeah.
His arms aren't as strong as the other fellas who are always in the wheelchair.
Sure. He had his mate pushing him. That was the problem.
Yeah, it was motorised.
I'd give him a gold plus. You know, you're taking a bloke who's not used to doing something. He does it the first time and beats the people who are at it.
What about that woman, though, that was disqualified in the shooting, because she was in a wheelchair, and she was just in the normal, able-bodied Olympics, it was just she entered, right? But she wasn't allowed to rest her elbow on the arm of her chair, because that was something disadvantage. She was in a wheelchair, and she's shooting, but she was getting an unfair advantage, and they said, you cannot put your elbow on the arm of your
Sneaky,
wheelchair.
aren't they? No, they are. You gotta be careful. You gotta be careful.
Do you want to play
Some of them aren't even disabled, it turns out.
Hold on, though. We're talking about athletes, aren't we? What record should we play next?
I'd love to hear that single that was out a couple of months back by Athlete. Let's have Athlete. Played by Athlete, a track that I know you and I have enjoyed.
Yeah, it was one of our favourite new tracks of the year, that one. Yeah,
absolutely.
Very good. More of our favourite tracks to come on XFM 104.9.
You know,
me, Ricky Gervais, and you,
Steve Merchant,
and
Karl Pilkington.
Sure, go on.
You know, I was mentioning the high jump. High jump. Do you know the reason I didn't get the gold? It's faintly embarrassing because the guy it was just neck and neck, me and another guy. In fact, he was slightly shorter than I was, and I was using the traditional Fosby flop. Is it the Fosby flop?
Fosby flop.
And he was using a method which I can only describe as the Superman, where he was running at the bar and diving headfirst over it. I've never seen this technique before.
It's illegal. That's why.
Incredible. Is it not allowed?
The Fosby flop only works because his shoulder and are going over before his head.
Right.
That's they got around the rule. You weren't allowed to dive over because it was
obviously no one monitoring that.
Yeah, no.
Just the games teachers having a quick fag.
Yeah. What was his name again?
The
fag.
I think his name was Mr. Woodbine. Anyway, so he's using this method, right, and it gets neck and neck, and I don't know how many chances you get to knock down the bar, but anyway, it got to the point where basically I had to get over the bar, or I was going to come second.
Sure.
And I decided at that point to use his method, because he'd seemed to be doing so well with it, I thought, well, I'll try that then, that looks easy.
Oh dear.
And ran at the bar, launched, didn't actually get my feet off the ground, just hit the bar like I was someone finishing a race, you know.
Did you have...
It's so that it just clattered everywhere.
I just want to get this picture of you at the age of what, 15, 16?
Yeah.
6'5" already, probably?
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Probably what, about 9 stone?
Exactly.
Yeah. Did you have your glasses on?
Of course I did.
You must have looked pretty sexy.
Probably a small bum fluff tash.
Yeah.
As well.
That must have been good. Was it true once, when you were about 16, you decided to wear a dicky bow to school?
Yeah.
That must have been great.
That was during my PG Woodhouse phase.
You thought you'd be a hit with the ladies if you were more sophisticated.
Well, not only that, I thought it'd make me kind of kooky and eccentric.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't already. 6'7", goggle-eyed.
Yeah.
Like they're already thinking there goes a weirdo. Oh, he's a weirdo with a bow tie.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Does it spin round, mate?
Yeah, what
'Cause you're getting me hot.
Exactly.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, I wore that for about 6 months, and it was in school colours, because we had to wear a tie at school, but this was a bow tie. I mean, now I don't, oh, man.
I can't believe it.
I don't know what I was
Karl,
thinking.
When you were, a little Pilkington, right? What was, if you had hair, what would it be like?
What do you mean?
Well, you obviously had hair then, back then. What was the, style?
It was like, sort of, I had quite sort of, fine, sort of straight hair.
Yeah.
Right.
Hairdresser once said to me, "You've got hair of a Chinaman."
He was a wise man, wasn't he? What do you think that meant then? Oh.
He just said, he just said, "You've got the same hair as a Chinese man has. Very straight, quite fine."
Why is he telling you? I just imagine this pal going, oh, the Arsenal did well, didn't it, sir? Shall I have something on that? You have the hair of a Chinaman. I'm sorry, nothing. You're not the spy. No, I'm not. Thank you. Good night. Oh,
you're not my contact.
Yeah, lovely. You have the feet of a fish. I'm sorry, nothing. It's not you. Okay, next. You have the hair of a Chinaman.
It was one of those barbers. It was a cheap one, just on a railway bridge.
I don't believe that. Go on.
On a railway bridge?
That's why it was cheap. It was very low rent, so he could charge.
That wasn't a barber. That was a man with some scissors.
Yeah. Did you go? Oh, I have to move you there, sir. Wow. Okay, back in the chair, sir.
I imagine them on one of those things you always see in old films where you've got to press down
up and down. Yeah, like a seesaw. Yeah,
that's not as good as that. It was just a normal chair, little wooden hut, and he did have to stop when a train came past because it used to.
What? Because he had to change the signal.
Just making a few extra bucks.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Oh, I love that.
That's Manchester for you.
Oh, God.
I always
it
remember
wasn't Bernard Cribbins, was it?
I always remember him saying, do you want your hair washing? And I said, is it free? You know, does it come with it? And he said, yeah. So I said, oh, go on then. He said, hang on now, I'll just have to wash these mugs up. He had like a sink full of mugs.
Oh,
So I'll
God.
just take these out and then I can wash your head.
Oh, no.
And that's why.
Why did you go to this man?
It was cheap. It was
How
like
much was it?
About £2.
And when was this?
God. At 88, 89.
All right.
Yeah.
So what happened to your Chinese hair? When did it start coming out?
You have the hair of a bald Chinaman now, don't you?
You've got the hair of a Chinaman in a box now.
I used to just work a lot of hours, and I think...
That's what made it fall out.
Yeah, of course.
No, it's not. It's genetic. You can't stop
It's
it.
not genetic.
Of course it is.
Your dad not? No, he's got more hair than me now, I think.
Is your mum?
Kojak's got more hair than you, Carl.
Anyway.
Don't have a go at Carl's hair. That's a bit harsh.
Oh, look at his little face.
What did he say before in that book about going bald? It said, it had a little tip, didn't it? We'll go over them later.
It says, if you're going thin, doesn't it say, cut your hair short and something like that?
So it makes you look thicker.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we got people are offering Karl lots of. We're coming up to that. In
Yeah,
a
well, we'll
few
go through that.
minutes
So obviously we
to win that BAFTA bag.
Shall I remind people what the competition was?
Yeah.
Last week we were giving away this bag that we got signed by various celebrities at the BAFTAs, and we asked you to email or write in with your suggestions as to what you have that you could swap for the bag, and it has to be something that will enhance Karl's life. We've had quite a lot of suggestions. I'll go through those a bit later, but they're some of them are quite eccentric.
Meanwhile, I'm going to play one of my favourite songs off one of my favourite albums.
I look forward to hearing it.
It's Radiohead. It's the Bends, and this is Black Star.
Go for it. Absolutely.
Sorry about that. We'll miss it. We can't avoid it really. We've got to go away and do some filming, and they're only going to miss you anyway, Karl. They can do without us now.
Zoe Ball's on.
Yeah, Zoe Ball. And who else is after her? She's not doing the whole run, is she?
Yeah, I think so.
Is she doing the whole 3 months? Is she?
Yeah.
Tell her not to get too comfortable.
Alright.
Right? Don't let her feet. And don't let Big Boy Slim come in with her because he mixes up the records, doesn't he? And ruins them.
Yeah. Hey, talking of DJing.
Go on.
You know, I did that storming set the other night
Well, yeah.
for XFM.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Go on.
This was down at a little club, in case you weren't aware of it.
Yeah.
Anyway, I went to the Sony's the other night.
Yeah.
Karl Pilkington sidles up to me, slips me an envelope.
Go on.
200 big ones in there.
Did you get paid cash for that?
Yeah.
£200. Taxman won't know about that. Cash in hand.
No, the tax won't know because I mean, obviously, no one who ever works in tax office is listening to local radio.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, so.
No, the taxman will know about it.
Yeah.
Because I'll declare it.
I would.
Put it, yeah, it's going straight down. I'll do it when I get home. Do it when I get in later on.
And don't write off rubbish that you buy anyway, like, you know.
No, I won't.
No.
I'll do it all above board officially. Fill it all in correctly. And so I'll send it now, I'll send it tomorrow so that you get it early. So it's not too busy for you, sir.
Oh, never mind. Oh, yeah, also, did you see, Liquid News last night?
No.
What is Liquid News? I don't really watch
It's the
Liquid
thing on, Choice, right, and it's, sort of celebrity news, yeah? And, Julian Clary, was on, and, they were talking about the Sony Awards the night before, which we went to, and they said, something like, a relatively unknown had won the Entertainment Award that we were up for, and Christian and Chris Moyles and Jonathan Ross said that, beating off bigger people, not he was beating off bigger people. They weren't suggesting he was.
Was Julian Clary beating off other hearts? Yeah.
Yeah. And it said, so, the people who didn't win resorted to silliness. And it cut, right? I don't know where the camera was, it must have been miles away, because it wasn't nice. Cut to me making a little hat for you out of a Budweiser box, a little dialect thing, and then forcing it on your head, and you sort of struggling. Do you remember that?
I do remember it.
Yeah. They're always
Well,
watching.
they were filming this?
They were filming it, yeah.
Scary.
So, yeah.
That's really scary because some of the things we were doing.
Because I was tying scarves around your head, wasn't I? We were
touching Karl in an intimate way.
We were gaying him up.
Gaying him
weren't we,
up.
to make him
Quite a lot.
feel all uncomfortable and everything. Because he doesn't like that sort of thing, do you?
Can't stand it.
We're going to be giving you a cuddle about 5 to 3, seriously. We are going to.
On the way out.
And I've got roaming hands.
Yeah.
Do you know them girls who came up from the radio academy and sort of said, oh, so you're Karl then?
Right,
Yeah.
yeah. A couple of fans went up to Karl.
Just on the way out, I said to him again, I said, look, I'm not gay. Because they were convinced I was.
That's because if you remember a couple of weeks ago, we teased Karl that he had to go as Steve's partner, to the BAFTAs, and they really meant partners. You know, after the show, when he was walking home, he was going to go buy his suit, I actually said, they will ask you. He went, well, what if they say, and as we walk in, Steve Merchant and his boyfriend, Karl, well, they might say that as you walk in, they might overdub it on the television, so he's going, well, what about my mates in Manchester? And he said, I'm not going. The risk of someone in Manchester thinking that he was going out with you, mind you, it was probably going, wow, if he was going to
see where you're going with that.
If you were going to be gay, you wouldn't choose Steve, would you?
No.
Who would you choose if you were gay?
If you could go out with any bloke, who would it be?
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one. You've thought about it before.
Go on. No, of course not. No, who would it be? If you were gay, what bloke would you go out with?
God, probably, Jonathan Ross is alright.
You gay! You fancy Jonathan Ross, you Bender! Oh, Bender!
Rossi!
Bender.
Oh, you've got his number, haven't you? We should get contact.
Love you, Jonathan, you! Come roll with me, David Bowie, off Diamond Dogs. Another one of my favourite tracks.
Cracking.
Great track, isn't it? Well, it's time for, Karl's Room 101. Karl was too shy to obviously ever do this for real, but, we thought that end the run of this with things that Karl hates.
Yeah,
we know the thing he likes. We know that. So, Karl. Okay.
We should just point out that we've been inspired by the TV show Room 101. We didn't come up with this ourselves.
Yeah, we did. This is Room 102. Yeah, we'll be Paul Merton, and you be Karl Pilkington. Right. You could chance to banish to Room 101 all those things that you dislike. They're never to be seen again. Will you please welcome Karl Pilkington?
Alright.
Who?
How you doing?
Alright, Karl, so what does this represent? And imagine me putting some on a table next to you, go on.
Right. Well, first of all, right, it's dead hard to come up with like 5 things that drive you up the wall.
Okay.
Right, it's not easy because there's so many things.
Yeah.
But it's just like, picking 5, it's like someone saying pick your 5 favourite records or 5 favourite films.
Yeah.
It's hard, so...
in Desert Island Discs where you always get the complete works of Shakespeare in the Bible.
Yeah.
I think you should include Ricky Gervais. I think you should always be there already in Room 101. They don't have to nominate you. You always go in.
Go on then.
So don't bother putting him in. Don't bother putting Ricky in, Karl. He's already there.
I'm already there, waiting.
Yeah.
Go on then.
Right.
Yeah.
First of all, right, I thought of like things that we've done in the past.
Sure.
And like quotes and that you were talking about.
Yeah.
That quote that people say that money doesn't make you happy.
Yeah.
Right. We're just rattling through some here.
Yeah.
That annoys me.
What?
Well, the quote, money doesn't make you happy?
Yeah, because it does. It clearly does.
Right.
Without it, life's pretty dull, isn't it?
Yeah, good.
Right, so that's like a little short thing, and then that sort of makes you think about people with money. There was a programme on in the week, I don't know if you saw it, Steve, the one Posh Loaded.
That was brilliant, wasn't it? That was a great show.
So annoying.
Oh yeah.
There was a girl on there, right, who's from a rich family and that, and it's not her fault she's from a rich family.
No.
It's like how posh people annoy people. That doesn't annoy me, because the way I sound is because of where I'm brought up and that.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, if you sound posh, you sound posh. It's, it doesn't change you as a person or whatever.
Yeah, that's quite
But this girl, right, did you see it, Steve?
I did.
You didn't see it, did you, Ricky, right? This girl goes shopping. She buys like 4 t-shirts and a crappy little handbag.
Yeah.
Spends about 1,300 quid. And she's just wasting it going, the woman's saying, oh, you'll love these, they're really in fashion. She said, oh, whatever, I'll probably only wear them once anyway. And it's just, that sort of thing annoys me.
Yeah.
People with money, who have grafted for it are good. But like, people who just get money given to them from the rich parents trying to make the wall. There was another point, right, where she's in a shoe shop, right, and she's like got these big boots and stuff. But part of the problem is, right, she's quite odd looking and that, right, but she's got a lot of money, so she makes herself look half decent.
Yeah.
Problem is, she's got fat ankles.
She's got what?
Fat ankles.
Right.
And they drive her up the wall because no matter, I mean, it's one of them things, isn't it? It's almost like God has gone, yeah, you can have all the toffees and stuff you want. You can have, like, your nice t-shirts. But at the end of the day, love, you're stuck with these ankles. And you can see these...
I love the idea of God saying, right, you can have all the toffees you want.
Yeah.
And you have nice handbags and that, but you're stuck with these ankles. Oh, God.
And I really wanted to get a job in that shoe shop where she was going in, blowing her dad's money, and she was calling up her dad saying, oh, Daddy, is it alright if, you know, I'm just out shopping, I've just bought some shoes that have cost like $1,000, and I really wanted a job in that shoe shop, just so I could sit there, and when she comes in, you go, oh, hello, love, whatever her name is, lovely to see you here again. Got some lovely new shoes in. Look at these nice new boots. Everyone's wearing them. Victoria Beckham. And, you know, all the it girls are wearing them. Yeah, try them on. Oh, you can't because your ankles are so fat. You can't get into these. Never mind, here's some boots. She really annoyed me. And I'm not a nasty person.
You're not.
She brought it out of me.
Oh, I'm worried though, this idea of you getting a job in a shoe shop. I'm not sure you're qualified.
I like all that's way round it. That some people go, oh, I'd like her to lose all her money or something. He'd like to actually bother go through getting the job in the shop.
Yeah.
And then just waiting there.
You'd be too busy mucking around outside, like on some kind of trolley stuck in a little lake.
Yeah.
But interestingly in that show, I was watching that show, and at one point, you mentioned that her fat heels or her fat ankles.
Yeah.
She said, I'd like to have various changes to my body, plastic surgery, I'd like to do this to my face, and da-da-da-da. And, her mum's there, and her mum's going, no, don't be so, no, you're my daughter, you're beautiful, da-da-da-da. No, you shouldn't, I'm not gonna let you have those, da-da-da. She went, I'd love to have an operation on my fat ankles. Her mum went, yeah, I do agree with that. What kind of a mother does that?
Oh, how bad can fat ankles be?
I know.
What were these ankles like?
Well, tell us, Rick, you must know.
No, do you know what I mean, though?
Like, if you said to a little kid, say a 4-year-old kid, draw a person, they'd draw her legs. Do you know where there's no sort of thin bit, and then it comes out a bit for your knees?
Oh yeah, and then just
ankles. It was just like 2 logs.
People go and say, I like your new flares. What do you mean flares? They're leggings. Cheeky.
Awful, so, you know.
It's okay, so you're putting in posh girls with fat ankles.
Yeah.
Okay, what's the next one on Room 101?
Right, another quick one, really.
Go on.
People in supermarkets.
Right. What, the people who serve?
Yeah. It's mainly... these shops you get round in London that are like open 24 hours, right?
Yeah.
You'll go in and you'll buy you know, you don't do your main shop there. It's mainly just little bits in it. Your carton of milk and
Sure.
maybe a loaf, a couple of balm cakes and that.
Yeah.
And you go in there.
Who still buys balm cakes?
Right?
Do they have them in London?
Yeah.
Do you ever ask? Would you be annoyed if they said balm cakes? We don't have those down here. They're rubbish.
That's happened before when I asked for gravy and they didn't know what gravy was.
Did you ask for gravy?
In a chippy.
What do you mean? What'd you say? Have you got any gravy?
Just because you up north you have chips and pie and gravy on it. And they didn't have a clue what I was talking about.
Right, okay.
So that annoys me, actually. Stick that on the list. But,
You've got fishmen up north.
but listen, right? You'll go
We saw a sign in the north, right? It was a little shop, and the sign said, we sell bread. And it was handwritten. It was like, there was probably like a rush with loads of people in turbans going,
what's this bread you talk of?
Yeah, their headscarves, old women running down with their little,
But anyway, these shops, right? So you go in there, getting your stuff, and you'll go up to the till, and they don't say hello to you. They don't sort of smile. They just bleep the stuff through. They don't tell you how much it is. They just sort of expect you to look at the till to see how much it is. So you can get your hand in your pocket, give them the money, they'll give you the change, and they won't say goodbye.
Yeah.
So it's like they just can't be asked to have any sort of, hello, how are you doing? Yeah. I don't want a big chat. I don't want to know what they're getting up to and what, you know, what the dad does for a living and all that. I just want, like, how are you doing? You know, you're well, right. Oh yeah, this bread's, you know, popular or whatever. Right, that'll be £5.
You need to keep abreast of which breads are selling well.
Oh, Mother's Pride, that's a good choice. 70% of our stock is worth it.
So that really, even though, you know, it is a 24-hour
I'll be honest, I would err on the side of silence. Not rudeness. I hate rudeness if they do that, but I would rather, I'd start to go, £1.50 please. And that'll be fine for me. Any more...
What about hello and goodbye, have a good day? Not in an American
It doesn't
way.
bother me. I prefer people who say have a nice day and don't mean it to people who don't say it at all and don't mean it, to be honest. I don't worry about that mock sincerity, because I think it...
No, not that, it's just normal, isn't it? It's
I'm saying, I like people who say, I don't care, they say, oh, nice to see you, come again, have a nice day. It doesn't bother me. But a chat... I hate people who think they're the life and soul.
No,
when you're going through.
mean like that. I mean, like,
nuts.
you know, if you go through a door, you hold it open, you go, there you go. You know what I mean?
You expect a thank you.
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah, and also when do you come in at like a narrow walkway and you're both walking there, and I stop or get out of the way, and they tut, like I should have. I want to go, hold on, look, we're both in the same boat here.
Yeah.
Why is it me? That annoys me, where people think
tutting when they're in the wrong.
They own the street, or if two people aren't looking where they're going, it's one person's fault. That really annoys me. Yeah.
So that's it, really. I mean, I know the 24-hour shops and they're knackered and stuff, but politeness, just to say...
Well, it costs nothing, does it?
No.
So those are your little quick ones, then we get on to your big three, don't we? The big one.
Yeah,
Should we play a record and come back to that?
I know what you want.
I'm talking to Karl Pilkington on room 101 on XFM 104.9. XFM 104.9.
What did you want to say?
Doesn't matter, Karl. It does.
The point is, it could have been important. It could have been a fire.
When we shout anything, you jump.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Come on, Karl. Get with the programme, alright? Hey?
Right, what other things you want from room 101?
Other than us.
Spiders.
Right, go on.
I know Ricky will be agreeing with that.
Yeah, all spiders, yeah.
I mean, not all spiders, because there's some spiders that are on the planet that don't do any harm. They clean up stuff, don't they?
What, I got little brushes.
Do you mean janitors spiders?
yeah.
No, there's some that, you know,
Hong Kong leggy.
just get on with stuff, but I'm talking about the spiders that are deadly. And spiders that are massive. I mean, Johnny's mate, Ricky's mate, Johnny, I mean.
Yeah.
He was talking about how, he was in Australia.
Yeah.
And he was sharing a room with a mate or whatever, and his mate was having a shower, and said, Johnny, just come in here a minute. And he went in, and there was a spider on the side of the bath that he said was the size of your hand.
2 hands width. It's sort of like a size track, just like 8 inches across.
That big, right? And the daft thing with that one is that can't kill you. It's massive. It's got no purpose.
It's a huntsman.
Yeah, but something he said it does, right? If you sort of walk around it and it thinks you're going to try and trap it, it hisses at you
and jumps at you
and jumps on you and sort of clings on.
That's terrifying.
You'd be sort of running around trying to get it off, and it's just gripping on like the old stag beetle thing again. Yeah. It's clinging on to you. But there is what I don't understand is, why is that spider that big? Because no doubt it only eats stuff like normal spiders do, but it needs to eat more of them because it's a bigger lad. Right?
Yeah.
It doesn't actually do anything. It's not like I just don't
doesn't create, doesn't paint, doesn't do anything. Yeah.
It's just getting in the way, and it's one of those things that are so big you couldn't kill it. Because can you imagine like the mess that would make something that size if you stamped on it? Yeah. Which I'm not, again, I'm not a fan of. Yeah. But I don't get that. And then there was a programme on a few weeks ago on BBC about spiders, and there was this one, right, it was going, there's so many spiders in the world, and apparently there's so many of them they can't give them all names, right? What they're saying is, once one dies out, they'll actually introduce another one, because there's so many different breeds of them that it's impossible to sort of make a book and list them all.
Right.
Well, the book would be infinitely long.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a queue.
They're not trying to name it individually, are they?
No.
That's their problem.
No,
yeah. Just keep it down to the species. Go on.
This is true.
Go on, yeah.
So they'll sort of go gives a spider, the Black Widow, right? Black Widow, they've all died. So, who's next? And they'll say, here's a redback. Yeah. And that's how they introduce them. So this programme was going on about this. Right?
That's not how they do it.
No, they do it.
Okay. Your point.
Okay, all right.
Right. So anyway, there's this little one, right, in Australia, and it shows you some kids being dead happy and playing around in the sun, loving it, all healthy and that, and, love being in the sun. They're playing around the pool, and, there's a couple of them there playing swing ball and that, dead happy, not a care in the world. And, like, the one of them goes, I'll go swimming, because I've been playing swing ball for an hour, got a bit of a sweat. Sure. Go for a little breaststroke or whatever. And, they get in the pool, and they can't wait to have a swim about, and then it pans to the bottom of the pool. Yeah. and there's this little spider just sat there dead still, right? Sat at the bottom of the pool holding its breath.
Holding its breath!
Okay.
Cheeks going up red, eyes bulging.
Yeah.
8 pairs of goggles on.
One goes by with a snorkel. You careful of this?
4 pairs of flippers.
Yeah.
Oh.
He's sat there in the deep end, right? And then it pans back to the kids having a good time, chucking a ball to each other.
I can see what's going to happen here.
And it pans back.
It's not going to join in the game, is it?
No.
And what happens is, the kid starts bouncing up and down on the floor.
Sure.
Goes and sticks the kid goes and puts a foot on the spider. Bites the kid, and apparently, if you're not seen to, you can be dead in 15 minutes.
Sorry, why does this spider sit at the bottom of the pool?
That's what it likes to do.
Animals don't do things they like to do. Animals do things for a reason.
Waiting for a kid to come along. So
It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense.
well, that's what
It's not. It doesn't go out to murder kids. That's not what it does.
No, there must be a reason. I mean, if you just stopped when you watch these programs and don't get involved with the music and the odd, why does it sit at the bottom of the pool? There must be it either goes there for protection, food, to cool. It does it for a reason. It doesn't go there to wind up swimmers.
Yeah.
There must be a reason. This is it. If anyone's watching, please, if you're watching that program, I don't know about this spider. What's the name of the spider?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Well, it did
08700 800 1234.
Is it the Duncan Goodhue?
Is it Paul?
I mean, I don't know, maybe it does go into other things like ponds and that, and maybe it does the same for ducks if a duck stands on it.
But why? Duck stands on it!
Why?
Oh, I love your brain.
Probably because eventually, a kid can get, saved if it's seen to in 15 minutes, but a duck is just gonna, wander around and go, God, I don't feel well and what have you.
What good is that to the spider?
Because...
No, I'm saying it might kill it if it might protect itself, but it must be in the pond for a reason in the first place, or the swimming pool. It must be down there for a reason. It must have another agenda, evolutionary wise. It can't just do it.
Could it be in training for the Olympics?
Unless it is just cooling. Like those, because on one of the other programmes that's a bit mental,
oh yeah, that one, yeah.
The one with the lizards, with the tail.
Well, let's not get into lizards, this could take...
Okay, no, go on quickly.
No, this is a good one. It was a programme, BBC programme again, on how insects and animals help each other out.
Yeah.
Right, they were saying how, you might think they're an insect, but they think like humans do, and they all help each other out, right? And there was this lizard that is running about in the desert, right? And it's going, God, it's roasting. And what it does, it makes a little hole in the sand, and it goes under the ground and it cools down, right?
Yeah.
And then you see one of the locals, I think it was in Egypt or something, and the Egypt bloke comes walking along.
The Egypt bloke.
And
Is he walking like an Egypt bloke?
Walk like an Egypt bloke.
and what he does, right, he's looking out for these holes in the ground.
Sure.
And he sticks his hand in.
Yeah.
And
Why does he want the lizard?
He'd make shoes and stuff out of it.
Okay.
Right? And you see him walking around, he's got about 12 of these things in a basket on his back, and they're all looking really fed up.
Oh, yeah.
And it's dead hot, and they can't be bothered trying to escape, and they look really fed up. And this bloke's laughing, he's collecting loads.
I love how he watches this, because they sort of editorialise it and make it into, some sort of, evil play.
Yeah.
But then it was saying how this deadly scorpion that man is scared of is mates with the lizard. And the reason is that the scorpion goes into the hole, right? It can't dig its own hole because its arms are that big and it's awkward for it to dig a proper hole.
Sure.
So what it does, it goes into the little den that the lizard's made, right? And whilst the lizard's having a kip, the scorpion says, I tell you what, I'll do you a deal. You have a kip, I'll walk up and down this hole here and sort of scare away any people. So the lizard's like, yeah, alright then, fair enough. Because the scorpion wants a little hole to keep out of the sun, the lizard wants a kip, they've done themselves a little deal, the Egyptian bloke comes walking along, sticks his hand in the hole, he thinks he's just going to get a lizard, scorpion stings him, he runs off, drops the basket, all the lizards go running off.
I love the fact that is what always happens. They filmed that just by chance, and that's what always happens. I like the fact that the Egyptian bloke has done this every day. He does it. He goes, well, okay, I've got all these lizards. I'll just go to this hole again. Because I haven't got that lizard yet. This will be fine.
No, I just think...
And when the lizard and the scorpion make that deal, and he says you have a kip, and the other one does it, do they talk in Egypt, or... I mean,
they talk Egypt
how do they discuss
They talk Egypt bloke or English bloke?
What language do they use, Carl?
No, it's the international language of love.
But spiders is what you're putting in Room 101.
Spiders.
Let's go back to that.
Spiders, spiders that...
Basically, spiders that have got the poison to kill a man.
Because Rick, I know, because
okay.
But Rick, I know
what about the ones that are just too big for their own good?
I don't understand that either.
But Rick, you're scared of all spiders, aren't you? Even the little tiny ones you find.
I don't like any spiders, yeah.
Is your husband afraid of them as well?
Karl just had a funny phone call, didn't you? From someone who's telling you all about the little brown, it's called, is it?
Little brown, yeah. That's the name of the spider that sits in the bottom of the pool. He said it doesn't hold its breath. It's got an air bubble.
I didn't think it did hold its breath, to be honest. And then, as you know, Steve was opening a letter we got, and it's a football song, and it's They Don't Like It Up by the Leatherhead Gimpers.
But it's the fact we keep getting sent homemade singles.
Wow, that's good, isn't it? Oh, there's another one here.
They're both football anthems, though. We don't. Well, do we show any interest in football? Are we?
Well, yeah, the World Cup we do, don't we?
You're right, Rick.
Yeah. I've got a bet on as well.
Have you?
Chelsea to win 2-1.
What today?
Yeah. And I've got Chelsea to win 2-1, but Henry to score first. And that's something like 30-1 or something.
Best of luck.
Yeah.
Best of luck.
Cheers.
Brilliant.
Right, so, spiders, that's the first one in Room 101, isn't it?
So
rude people in supermarkets, spiders that are either have got enough poison to kill a man, or are unnecessarily big.
Yeah.
Yeah, go on then. Right, good. Going well.
Right. Next one.
Yeah.
Stars in Their Eyes.
Blimey, it's a popular show. You might alienate a lot of people.
It.
Why?
Just, I think, if you've got a talent, right, there's loads of shows now that you can go on and make a killing.
Yeah.
Like Pop Idol.
Yeah.
What was the other one? Pop Stars.
Yeah.
That sort of thing. So, people who will go on Stars in Their Eyes, they want to sort of be famous.
Yeah.
They want to be a singer. What I don't understand is why go on that show where you do all the hard work, got to do all the graft.
Yeah.
And yet, even if they win it, you never see him again. The guy who won last year, Christy Berg.
Ian Moore.
Before
last, but I was now with his own stuff.
Yeah, but, alright. How did he sell?
That sold well.
Exactly. Don't get it.
What I like is when, someone doing Edith Piaf, like, wins a heat, and, Matthew goes, well, I don't think you'll be going back to the, cleaning job, will you? Yeah. Yes, you will. Monday.
Almost certainly.
Monday. She'll be back there Monday.
Just, and just the way, you know, in like the final last week where the guy who was Elvis won, and they're all
I thought he would though. I thought he was very good.
No, he was good. But will we see him again? Do you know what I mean? What is his job?
I don't know.
He'll be carrying on doing that. There's going to be no change to his life whatsoever. He's very good at what he does, but he's wasting his time on Stars in Their Eyes.
So I don't understand exactly what your issue is. You clearly like the show because you watched the final last week.
He thinks,
you agree that people are talented.
You think it's a waste of talent to go on Stars in Their Eyes because it's not a vehicle to be famous, whereas something like
Pop Idol,
yeah,
Pop Stars, even Big Brother. Do you know what I mean? Go on that. Sit in a room all day, have a month off work.
Because they're all big stars now, aren't they?
No, but what I'm saying is, it's less work to sit in the Big Brother house. Now and again, just sing a song, and people go, oh, isn't he a good singer? You come out after having a month's rest or whatever it is you're having there.
Yeah.
You come out and there's loads of record companies, like, waiting for you to come out and give you a deal.
And what happens then? When you get a deal, when you cut a record, what happens to that record then?
Then it's either sells or it doesn't.
And actually, what happened to it?
It didn't sell.
No, none of them did.
But what I'm saying is, that is a lot easier to do than all the graft that you have to do on Stars in Their Eyes and the pressure.
What would you rather do? Buy Craig's Christmas record?
Yeah.
Or, Ian Moore's, classics?
Probably Craig, just because the guy on Stars in Their Eyes really thought he was better than Christy Berg. When he was singing, and
I think I'm better than Christy Berg.
He was singing, Christy Berg came walking on.
Did he cry?
And he didn't stop and go, oh, I can't believe it, my big fan. He was sort of carrying on, like, don't interrupt me, I'll have a word with you in a bit.
Yeah. You think you should show the man he's actually making a little bit of living off?
Yeah.
Emulating.
A bit of respect.
A bit more respect.
And the most annoying thing...
I imagine them arguing, resting each other's floor saying, I'm Christa Berg, no, I'm Christa Berg. Like two ventriloquist dummies. Just having a fight in the dressing room afterwards.
The most annoying thing of all with Stars in the Rise, people who go on and do people like, say like, I think last year, someone went on and did Lamal. Now, if you wanna, cause the whole idea with Stars in the Rise, you get work off the back of that show by, like, companies, don't you, saying, let's who will we book?
Yeah.
You could get the real Lamal for about 30 quid. So why have an imitator?
Well, it seems to me though, Carl, the problem is that show's been running so long that all the big names have already been done, so it's going to end up having to be, isn't it, Lamal or some old kind of 50s singer you've never heard of? Isn't that the problem?
I remember when...
I mean, it's just
Eddie Reader was on there. There was a movie about Eddie Reader.
But it's just a karaoke contest. It's just, I think you're assuming that everyone on there wants to get, you know, a recording contract.
They do, Steve.
Okay.
In that bit at the back where they say, and the votes are coming in, let's have a look at the tension now that's going on. And they sat there and they really think they are Elvis. And they are Luther Vandross. Sat there, and like, if they were all sat there having
Woke up this morning, looked at your picture just to get me started. Filth.
If they were all sat there, sort of thinking, oh god, this is a bit of a laugh, innit? But they're not, you can see that they all really want it. And it's like...
So what I'm saying is, who are you putting in Room 101? Are you putting in the people who are just there to have a bit of fun?
Everyone involved in that show.
Including Kelly?
Yeah.
He's a talented guy. You don't care?
No,
he's going in as well.
He's in there first, and then everyone else, everyone who enters it, the people who go and sit in the audience, everything.
But what would you do Saturday night? You'd love the show, you watch it every week.
It was just on when I was getting ready to go out, and there's nothing else on at that time.
Sure.
And it was the final on Saturday night as well.
Yeah, you got to watch the final, haven't you? Live final.
Final.
Well, who would you do if you went on the show?
Moby.
I'd probably do... Ooh.
It's not that you look like them though, is it?
No,
you sound like.
because they wouldn't let me on as Tracy Chapman. I was furious.
That's annoying.
Because I sound just like her, but they said... No.
Bowie.
You do Bowie?
Yeah.
Can I hear your impression?
No.
Oh, come on.
No, because you just said if you could go on and what have you, I'm saying that.
Well, it's got to be someone you can do. I mean, obviously I'd go on as Will Smith because I can do the rapping.
Yeah.
I can't do it. I'm not a good singer. I've never really been into singing. I've never done a live singing thing before.
Haven't you?
No.
Not even
But if there was a talent show, if there was a talent show on,
what did you do?
I did Walk Like an Egyptian by the Bangles and I mimed, dressed up as a woman.
How old were you?
It was when I was still going to school, so it was like...
Well, I hope so.
12.
And what was the... why did you do that? What did you mime to, and why were you dressed as a woman? Where's the logic in this, is what I'm saying, Carl? What sort of act was this?
I think I was meant to get hold of some, like, Egyptian outfit. Couldn't. So I looked in my mum's wardrobe, and I had a dress.
Dress in a fez, carrying some lizards, that'd do it, wouldn't it?
I had some boots and a wig on.
And how did you dance? Look, he looks confused. He's
confused by his own act.
He's suddenly confused.
The best bit was it was like a proper talent show. Do you know where you'd cover it all?
Yeah.
So I did like the dancing and the miming, and then I also did a bit of magic, right? Where I had like a cloth, right? And I had it over my hand like that, and the crowd were like, oh god, what's he gonna do?
Of course they were. Go on, and what was the trick?
They weren't saying that. And the crowd going, oh, what's the great
There's one chorus. Ooh, what's he gonna do?
Oh, what's the great Pilkington gonna do?
So what I did was, I was stood there teasing them, and
Teasing the audience?
yeah.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm gonna make a bird appear before your very eyes. Okay. And I pulled the tea towel off, and I just had hold of an egg. And I said, oh, it isn't born yet. They loved it.
He's so proud of that! Look at his
Did you come up with that yourself?
Yeah.
Did you have any help at all?
No.
So you did Walk Like an Egyptian and Dress as a Woman, then you did the egg trick.
And then I was also playing like a janitor. Because when the next person was singing, I'd come on and all the electric went off. And I came on going, oh god, has anyone got 50p for the meter?
Oh, you're quite a little showman, weren't you?
And then, like, you know, the
Did you win?
Chucked us some money.
Yeah.
And,
Are you sure you weren't actually employed as the janitor?
No, did you win?
No, I think we came second. This really tarty girl who did Madonna, like a virgin. And I thought, yeah, right. Like you are. She was a right ropey little woman. But,
So great. Okay,
brilliant.
so Spy the Stars in Our Eyes, we better play a track, hadn't we?
Indeed, yeah. Bit of Tom McRae. This was a track we played a while back. I enjoyed it.
Enjoying the music, we're loving it, aren't we?
Indeed.
Still to come, we've got another entry to Room 101, Karl's final entry, and then that giveaway, the famous giveaway with Enhance Karl's Life. Can I have some adverts though first, Karl, because I'm getting a bit fed up with adverts for a little while. Well, Karl, do you remember when I put the waste paper bin on your head?
classic time, yeah.
Yeah, do you remember that? What did I do to you today?
Well, you tried to bring the same memories flooding back to me by putting the same grotty bin on my head. But the annoying thing was, last time I did it, it was quite a new bin.
Yeah.
Did it today, it's rank, all sorts of stuff on it.
What else did I do when I saw you around the corner down there? Go on.
I went to get the paperwork and that you need to produce the show.
Yeah.
And, came around the corner. Ricky was sort of hiding. And I was concentrating, reading stuff. And he goes,
I don't imagine it was as soft and gentle as that. I imagine it was more like... Exactly.
Like that. And I tell you what, I nearly exploded, because he's sort of hot on one leg, right? And he's sort of, I don't know why I'm doing this, but he sort of was walking out and on, we're looking down, and I went, and he hopped like that, and his weight was
Rest assured, listeners, that if you were here, it's not any funnier than it is if you were listening at home. It's only amusing to Ricky.
But I tell you what, it makes you feel really refreshed.
He was going on and having a heart attack like that, and I was nearly having a heart attack laughing, and he went, I feel good now. He said, I can see why people skydive. He said that would be good for people that were ill. Oh, Karl!
They've made it feel...
How am I gonna live without Karl for 14 weeks?
Oh, you'll find other people to irritate.
Oh dear, okay, so, right, well, we got this final entry in Room 101, but we've also, had so many emails and letters about this competition, people trying to bribe you with things. They've been great. Can you read a few of them more?
Absolutely, yeah, well obviously this is, people are trying to win this, bag that we got signed at the BAFTAs. We got Graham Norton, Angus Daly, Alan Davis, Jamie Theakston, Paul Whitehouse, Baxendale, Helen, Steve Filmich and McFadden, Peter Davison, Simon Pegg, Steve Roy, all different people signing the big bag.
Do you know what I think, though? I don't think people want that. I think they want to contribute to Karl's existence.
Well, this is
I really genuinely think that Karl was sort of, you've only been there, how long have we been doing this now with you, sort of like, you know, in the area? 3 months?
Yes.
I think you've touched people's lives, Karl. I don't think I've ever met, well, I haven't met you, but I think your soul comes across as like a cross between, I'd put it, it's like a cross between a cat
And Rain Man. But we've had quite a few which are, sort of, which obviously want to kind of further your education. Obviously, when we're off air, this is something we're worried that's just going to dry up, you know, and we've tried hard to educate you. So, lots of books, lots of people suggesting books, the Giant Book of Mysteries. And I mean, if you chose this one, Karl, it tells you, how 3,000 Japanese soldiers literally vanished overnight. Real life accounts of vampires. The man who planned his own crucifixion. The famous Ghostbuster, Harry Price. And lots of, things about spontaneous combustion.
Is this the one about the woman with the hairball?
That's not got the one in the hairball in there. I'll have to dig that out for you.
These sort of books are the thing that I'm after.
This is what interesting is.
I've brought in one as well. It's a friend who works with, Jane, my girlfriend, called Liz, and she wants to put this forward, and this is Trade Secrets, everything you will ever need to know about everything. And it's just like little tips, you know what I mean?
But there's so many things competing with that. You see, there's another guy who sent in, he wants to give you, a video entitled Making Love, Parts 1 and 2, an instructional guide. I imagine you'd enjoy that, Karl?
Nah.
No? Nothing they can teach you?
Nah.
Sure. The Reader's Digest book of strange stories and amazing facts again. Other stuff here. Why cats have 9 lives, Karl.
Well, hang on a minute.
Why meteors are likely to destroy Earth in the next 100 years.
You're wasting your time. In this Trade Secrets book,
Yep.
listen to this for a tip. Make a necklace from electrical wire.
That's a good idea.
But don't plug it in.
Doesn't say that.
What about this then, Karl? Because, obviously we're concerned that you didn't get your GCSEs, or you didn't get as many as you'd have hoped. There's a guy here, this is Victoria, and she's saying she's more than willing to give you all of her awards and certificates. She's got 6 GCSEs, 6 A's and 4, but she's got many GCSEs, in fact, 6 A's, 4 B's, 3 A levels, and a master's degree in philosophy. She's willing to give you those certificates. She says you will be the proud owner of qualifications. As the owner of qualifications, she has found that anything she says is invariably believed, and that she's popular and very happy. She's willing to give you those qualifications. That's pretty impressive. You can claim they're your own. You have to change your name to Victoria, but other than that, I can see no problems.
And you have to put a dress on and a fez.
It's nice.
More like an Egyptian. But you see, there's lots of educational ones. Then there's other things which are perhaps less useful to you. This is, doesn't say who it's from, but, I think it's Ruth, and she's happy to give you a statue of an ostrich that she made when she was 7.
What about that?
Alright, you love birds, you love animals.
Yeah,
apparently,
statue.
the legs fell off under the weight of the body, so now it's just a legless ostrich, but even so.
Yeah.
Even so.
I've only got a small flat and...
Sure. Another woman here,
I doubt if it's ostrich size.
Yeah, it's just clogging up space, though, isn't it?
This is Lauren. She's willing to give you some of her handmade blue tack animals. She makes animals out of blue tack. She can give you an elephant, a seahorse, a tortoise, a pig, a butterfly, fish, snail, even a stegosaurus, or anything you choose.
See, I've got my heart set on...
You've got the books, you're excited by the
this
books.
book.
What about this, though? This is a Lego alarm clock with a little Lego man who's got a variety of hats. It says here, including biker's helmet and cap. 2, I think, of the village people. I don't know, Karl, if again people are picking certain things up. A clear stiletto mobile phone holder with pink fur on it, flashes pink and green. I think people know that you are
not
gay.
listening. In this book,
gay.
listen, right? In this book, little tips and stuff. So one here about if your dog keeps nicking a remote control.
Sure.
The way to get it off it, ring the doorbell. Right, so you got to get off your chair, go and ring the doorbell, so the dog goes, what's that? And it drops the remote control, goes running to the door,
Yeah.
you run back and pick it up.
I love the idea of Karl doing that, and then the doorbell goes, and Karl drops it and goes, and it's the dog pressing the doorbell, and it sits back down, and Karl going, oh no, not again.
I mean, I really do want, can't I just have this?
You excited by that, are you?
It's brilliant.
What about this one, though, that you mentioned? This is, a book which has got all those, urban legends and stories that you've read on the internet, and it tells you whether they're real or not. This has got the one in there, I know you're very excited about the one with the woman who stuck her head in the microwave.
Yeah.
Eh?
Alright.
It's not.
Alright, so basically she's saying here that whenever Ricky says, oh, it's not true, you can dispute that with your book.
Yeah. What do you think then, Karl? Do you want to have a think about all these gifts? And
There's
then
so much stuff, isn't there?
Should we play a record and then come back? Have you found something you like in there?
You're so undecided, Karl.
I really like this book.
Go on, what is it? What else you found? What tip?
God, there's loads of stuff in here. Let's just pick one at random. Don't be too tidy. Leave some areas for helpful garden animals to hide in. So when you're cleaning your garden and that, you know, it might look a bit of a mess, but think about the animals that are walking about at night in the dark and stuff.
Yeah.
Just little things you don't think about.
Yeah, because they're pointless.
Little,
Yeah.
Okay, then we'll just play a record.
Oh, there's so many to decide on.
Yeah. Very sad now. 10 minutes to go, and so much to cram in. Now, thing is, Karl's fallen in love with that book, but I feel a bit bad letting a friend sort of win when all these lovely people, these regular listeners, so I don't think you can have that. But I'll tell you what, I'll borrow that, or I'll buy it for you. So you can have that anyway. What have
That's
you found
safe,
in there?
you're going home with that.
you know, avoid washing up by boiling a bag food.
See, I can see why you'd love that.
Exactly.
Is there anything out, what other things have you caught your eye though? Put that book down. Yeah, go on.
Well,
One of our regular listeners who actually wants the bag and wants to be part of your life. Come on.
Well, Richard emailed in, right? And he's got a book, which is similar to the one I like there.
Yeah.
Which has got like 180 stories in it. Most of them are like true, I think. Do you know I was telling you that story about the woman who put her head in the oven to dry her hair?
Yeah.
Because she liked the way...
She boiled her brain.
Yeah, she stuck it in the microwave.
Avoid washing your hair by boiling the brain bags.
So she put her head in the microwave
Yeah.
and boiled her brains.
Yeah.
And boiled the brains.
Sure.
She thought she'd get the same result as she did from the oven, but it all went wrong and that. And
What do you mean? She used to dry hair in the oven, and she just like went modern.
Apparently, it's like what punks used to do. You get a different sort of heat off an oven than you do off a hairdryer, right?
Sure.
So she thought, well, I'll do it in half the time. Use a microwave.
Sure.
She
was busy. She
I
was
don't
late.
understand how you can get your head in a microwave. It only works when the door closes.
Yeah, but you jam the little thing, don't you?
Well, don't say that. Don't say that. Don't tell. I don't think it's possible, but don't.
Of course it is.
Yeah, well,
anyway,
don't
but
do that.
he remembers that story and said, I've got a book full of stuff like that. And he sort of sums up a little story that's in the book about this girl who she had long hair, right? and she used to always mess around with it, and she's sucking on it. Do you know, like how girls do with the long hair? They sort of mess around with it and stuff.
Yeah.
And she's sucking on it all the time. And she was doing this from the age of like 10, and then I don't know, she's probably about 30 odd, and she's doing this all the time.
Guessing.
And she goes, "Oh God, my belly's hurting today, mum." And she goes, "Oh, what's wrong with you?" I said, "I don't know."
You're 30.
Yeah. So she goes to the doctors, and the doctors do an X-ray, and nothing's coming up. And it's like, "I don't know what's wrong with you. You know, you're just being a bit moany about nothing." She's like, "No, honestly."
He's a very intolerant doctor.
Yeah.
She said, "This is
Piss off.
this is really hurting. I don't know what's up with it." So anyway, they found out some sort of system of looking at what was going on.
Yeah.
And apparently,
X-rays?
No, it wasn't X-ray, because X-ray didn't show it up.
Okay.
It was something else. So anyway, it's only gone and turned into, like, she's been sucking her hair for so many years that little bits had come off. She's got a giant air ball in her belly.
Wow.
Right? Yeah. Which was like huge, the size of a rat or something like that, right? The size of a...
It's so interesting what he chose. The size of a rat.
No. Well, the funny thing is, when they eventually got it out, the mum was like, you know, "Oh God, it was terrible," and that's what she actually said. It looked like a dead rat.
Oh. Right.
And it was in her belly, and that's like what was causing all the pain.
Sure.
And apparently, your belly acids don't kill hairs because it's so fine it can't handle it. Yes.
Right. So you're going for that book, are you?
That's the one I want.
Who's the winner then? Who's the winner of the lovely BAFTA
What's
bag?
his name there? Richard Scholar, is it or something?
Yeah, Richard, Scular or Scowler or something else. So he's the winner. So check it out. You're going to get that book coming to you. I'll borrow this book for you.
I need an email within like 5 working days to sort of clarify.
So what's your email?
It's karl.pilkington@xfm.co.uk.
Okay, lovely.
I want an email from this guy, and I won't be sending the bag out until I receive the goods.
Okay, right, good. Well, we've only got a few minutes. I want to play Suede, and I want to end with the Smiths track, so let's play this.
Do you know when you go away?
Oh, yeah.
It's sort of touched on this before.
Is this going to be the Scouse guy?
Yeah.
Go on.
Oh, it's so long, though. I mean, it was holiday when we went to Tunisia.
And the Scouser pissed you off, surprise, surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the annoying thing was, you know, when you go on it was a cheap holiday, and, like, the lesson here is, you know, if you want a good holiday, you gotta, like, spend some money.
Yeah.
And we didn't on this one. We spent about, I don't know, 400 quid for 2 of us for, like, a month or something ridiculous. And we got there, and, you know, you get to the hotel and you go, "We have made a mistake." You know, it's a ropey hotel. You know, you can tell, like, the blinds and stuff as you're walking, they're all dirty and stuff. You think, well, let's make the most of it. You know, let's not get down about it. It's a holiday. It's for a rest. And you try and make the most of it. And we had to meet. You know, like, you have one of those things where you get to your destination and the rep says, "Right, you know, go and unpack your bags and that. Go and sort yourself out in the room. And tomorrow morning we'll meet up at 10 o'clock, and I'll go through, you know, the best sort of place to go for camel rides, and you know, the best deals I can get you, that sort of thing."
Can anyone here walk like an Egyptian?
So she says, "Right, tomorrow morning meet 10 o'clock in the discotheque." So we get up and we have breakfast, and it wasn't a good breakfast. The kitchen was like bit horrible, the food wasn't good, and it was run by sort of midgets.
What do you mean it was run? Not there's anything wrong with that.
There was little fellas running around, and the annoying thing was one of them sort of started to fancy my girlfriend.
How did he manifest his affection?
No, you're not saying there's anything wrong with midgets, though, are you? Just saying it was strange that there was
but even midgets shouldn't be cutting in on Karl Pilkington's territory.
I know, no.
But it's also that thing of, you know, they've got little fingers, and... And it's sort of
I'm so sorry.
No, I'm not. It is a bit of a phobia of mine.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? They are nice people and that.
Sure.
Oh, God. But the annoying thing is...
So what was he doing then? How did he... I don't understand how he was chatting up your girlfriend. Was he crawling under the table so you couldn't see?
He just kept...
whispering to her from underneath there.
Stop it.
Just, you know...
Wait, I don't want to get a complaint on our last show.
There's not many midgets. What's going to happen? Can we just finish this and start up again in a couple of months?
Oh, yeah. So if you want to know more about the midget theme restaurants, then we'll talk you in 3 months.
Yeah.
It's just... it's just...
No, that's fair enough, actually.
Oh, yeah, no,
right,
sorry about
this.
Listen, we'll see you in about... Really, it's been a pleasure, truly, and thank you for everyone that wrote letters. Have you really?
I've got you both a present. Right?
Oh.
I got Ricky, do you know, like, we've done fables and stuff?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
This is like Mr. Ben.
Oh.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Right, and it's like little fables that Mr. Ben goes on.
Oh, fantastic.
So I want you to learn something from that for when you come back.
Okay, brilliant. That's lovely,
I'll tell you
Karl.
one of the stories I read this morning. It's brilliant. In fact, when you've done with it,
Yeah.
give it me.
Yeah.
Because I haven't finished reading that.
Okay, thank you, Karl.
And for Steve, a little, shut-up lines.
A little book of chat-up lines.
That's fantastic.
Karl.
Well, we'll see you, in 3 months, but currently emailing Karl, cherish Karl Pilkington. He sits in a little room by himself, so keep him in touch, and we'll see you in, August.